As we approach the end of this console generation, there are games that are pushing the technology to their limits, causing the consoles such as PS4 and Xbox to overclock, frame rates drop, and even overheat to the point where the system shuts off. That's right, you guys heard me correctly. We're going to be discussing that in this video here today. If you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure to hit a like, comment down below, support your boy. Let's go ahead and get into this discussion because it's kind of crazy to even think or fathom. Because if we look back at like PS3 days, the technology kind of reached its limits even before the generation of that console was finished. Even, 1 or 2 years prior, there were games that were already pushing the technology to the limits. But we're getting pretty close to the end of the PS4's life cycle as well as the Xbox One. But most of the games are pretty much manageable when it comes to the technology that's in them, and we really haven't seen too many games push these consoles to their limits. But lo and behold, Borderlands 3 is one of them, of many. I can go on and list a whole bunch of other games that, are causing this to happen. Control is another one, which is a smaller indie title, but these games are pushing the consoles to their limits. Their main focus and their aim is to develop for the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. They are trying to push the consoles to their limits to get the best resolution, frame rate, and experience for the player. But is it working? We are getting close to the PlayStation 5, and I'm kind of concerned about that. We'll talk about that in just a second. But with these games pushing them to the limits, Borderlands 3, for instance, is causing Xbox One X's to overheat. Now, Xbox One X is reportedly the most powerful console to this date as far as specs goes. And to see that Borderlands 3 is causing this not only to overheat, but shut down completely, and there's several reports of this happening, by the way, and 2K is aware of it. They're working on a fix for it. It's kind of crazy to even fathom that, especially with the technology that's built in them, that we would be experiencing these issues. Now, I play Borderlands 3 on the PS4 Pro. I don't really have any issues whatsoever. I do notice little frame rate drops here and there, but it's not something substantial that it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go crazy over. I have played Borderlands 3 on my launch PS4, and I gotta say, it feels like I'm playing in 720. Now, I like to keep it real to you guys. I don't like to fluff things up and, hide anything back from you guys. PlayStation 4 Pro, it runs pretty good. Like I said, I do notice frame rate drops, but overall, it's a good experience. And Borderlands 3 is freaking awesome. It sold so many copies in the first week, and it's the best-selling 2K game for a launch title ever. So Borderlands 3, can't rave enough about it. But playing on my launch PS4, you really have to make sure that you select in the beginning of the game. It gives you the option of whether you want, graphics or performance. If you pick graphics, it's probably going to run your PS4 to the max and probably overclock it. I'm going to keep it real to you guys. And a lot more games are doing this, and a lot more games are in game companies and game developers are focusing on developing games for the PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One, even though, so many other people have the launch PlayStation 4, the old school PlayStation 4, they have the Slim, but here we are to this date, and some games have been successful. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Some games not so much. Notably, the two new releases that come to mind is Control and Borderlands 3. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and questions and opinions in those comments down below. What do you guys think about these game developers pushing the consoles to their limits? I mean, in a way it's good because we can definitely see we need the next generation of consoles, but at the same time, I'm not sure exactly, you know, what goes into planning and, you know, all of this stuff. I know game development is like really complex, but at the same time, understanding that more people own the original PlayStation 4 or the Slim over the PlayStation 4 Pro, my thought process would be the target audience for any game would be PlayStation 4 across the board or Xbox One across the board, rather than pushing, you know, your PlayStation 4 Pro to the limit and Xbox One X. We get the PlayStation 5 right around the corner, and that is another alarming question because, you know, we do have some rumor and speculation that the next generation of console is going to have two different, consoles. As far as the PlayStation 5 goes, we're rumored to have a regular PlayStation 5 and a more powerful PlayStation 5, and those will be presented in two different options. Of course, the price point is a big major factor in it for a lot of folks, but that's what gets me nervous because we're seeing the end of PlayStation 4's life cycle, and that is getting pushed to the limits. The PlayStation 4 Pro is getting pushed to the limits with a lot of games, and the Xbox One X is getting pushed to the limits with certain games. What's going to happen with the PlayStation 5? Should I even get the base PlayStation 5, the regular PlayStation 5? Or should we just automatically aim and shoot for the moon and get the PlayStation 5 Pro or whatever the hell they're going to call it? Let me know your guys' thoughts, questions, concerns in those comments down below. I definitely have a lot of concerns when it comes to this. And wow. Wow, I never thought, like, you know, with the PlayStation 4, game developers always rave so much about how powerful the PlayStation 4 was, even before the PlayStation 4 Pro. And, you know, I remember moving from PlayStation 3 over to 4, I heard a lot of game developers talk about, like, how difficult it was to you know, move from developing on such a very hard system like the PlayStation 3, because the PlayStation 3 was really hard to develop for, and then get adjusted and you know, shift over to the PlayStation 4. So that in itself is going to be interesting to see, coming from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, and hear what developers have to say. That's it for this video. I did mention that I was going to give away a $10 PSN card, so I thought it would be cool for you guys to guess my favorite game of all time. The first, you know, correct answer in those comments down below, I will hit you up with a $10 PSN card. Please include some sort of contact information in your comments, whether it being a Twitter at, you know, an Instagram at, a PlayStation Network, an email, whatever you want. Whatever is going to be the easiest and most convenient way for me to contact you that you're going to check on a regular basis, so that way I can get the $10 PSN card out to one of the lucky persons in those comments down below. I'm not going to give away too much of a hint of what my favorite game is, other than it is not from this generation or the generation before. Or the generation before. Okay, I'm giving away too much. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit a like. Comment down below. Support your boy. Comments help out tremendously. Those of you guys that do, I appreciate you so much. Subscribe if you guys haven't already with those bell notifications turned on. And I will see you guys in the next news update. You guys are freaking awesome.